a great pleasure in announcing that the world's biggest radio conference is coming to Asia. RadioDays Europe is the world's largest radio conference. It covers public and commercial radio businesses. Last year, when it was held in Europe, there were 1,600 delegates from 60 countries, 130 speakers, 60 sessions, 3 days in 4 tracks. There was a lot going on. There was 100 exhibitors and partners, people who work with the radio industry in many fields. And the quality of the conference is really the thing that makes it different. All over the world, every country, every set of radio businesses have their gatherings and their conferences, and they're all fantastic. But this one is a world-leading conference. It combines the best of all those individual countries and conferences into something that has grown into a world-leading radio industry business conference. RadioDays itself is a non-profit organisation. It has support from many radio organisations and businesses around the world. And the reason I'm here is that I'm representing Anders Held, who you'll hear from later. He's in Lucerne at the moment in Switzerland, organising this year's European conference, which will take place on the 29th of March until the 2nd of April. Just an indication of the success of RadioDays Europe. It started as a little European conference with 400 people attending 9 years ago, and last year the attendance had grown to 1,600. I was there. It was a big conference, and it was a conference buzzing with energy, which is the significant thing about it. And the great news is that RadioDays Europe is now coming to Asia. Next year, we can announce that RadioDays Asia will take place in this hotel on the 27th and 28th of August. Over 2 days, 2 tracks will happen, and there will be an exhibition. RadioDays was invited to come to Asia by the various Asian broadcast industries, radio broadcast industries. And RadioDays has been working with the broadcast industries here in Asia for some time. We'll hear about that in a moment. But this is the expertise of RadioDays Europe by invitation now coming to Asia, which is the exciting thing. In fact, it'll be in this very hotel, the Astana Hotel here in Kuala Lumpur. I can announce the launch partners of RadioDays Asia. AIBD, who you'll hear from in a moment, and Commercial Radio Malaysia are the 2 industry bodies responsible for this conference coming to Asia and specifically to Malaysia. AIBD has had a huge role in bringing RadioDays to this part of the world, and we'll hear more about that in a moment. Also, the foundation partners include Commercial Radio Australia, and in your media pack you'll see a statement from Joan Warner, the head of Commercial Radio Australia, and Pod News, James Cridland's podcast newsletter, as well as my publication, Asia Radio Today. You'll see also the Malaysian government is recognised for helping to bring this conference to Asia. The Malaysian Convention and Exhibition Bureau, combined with the Ministry and with Malaysian Tourism, have certainly helped the organisers to realise that Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia is a great spot to hold a conference. And the commercial launch partners, RCS, Triton Digital and Weedle, are the first commercial sponsors and the first companies to announce that they'll be exhibiting when Radio Days comes to Asia. We hope that many more commercial sponsors will join us. It's my pleasure to invite the Director of AIBD, Cheng Jing, to come and say a few words for us. Please, Mr. Cheng.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this press conference of Radio Asia 2019. It has been a great pleasure for AIBD to be the premium supporting partner of Radio Asia conference, first to be launched in 2019. First of all, this event is quite unique because in Asia we have already quite a number of media events, and AIBD itself is organizing the Asian Media Summit, and some sister organizations are organizing others. But what's the uniqueness and the special value of Radio Asia? Let me tell you, and let me be frank, it brings to Asia the most advanced ideas and most distinguished, highest profile speakers from Europe and other parts of the world. This is the unique value. Because in Asia, when we have our own conferences, we have speakers from our own regions mainly. But Radio Asia will be able to bring to us the speakers from other regions. This will be the unique value. Secondly, let me tell you a little bit about AIBD, but because not all of you know about AIBD. AIBD is an international intergovernmental organization in the broadcasting field. It was founded in 1977, and its core activities are training. Currently we organize about 30 to 40 training workshops a year. And for 40 years we have been making a lot of contributions to the development of personnel in the broadcasting industry. And it is also our focus to organize exchange of information in policy making and development of strategies. So for that purpose, we organize the annual event of Asian Media Summit since 2004, which is attended by about 400 delegates every year. And it is indeed also during Asian Media Summit that we join hands with RadioDays Europe since 2013. That's why during this cooperation we have had the idea of creating the Radio Asia Conference. Thirdly, the Radio Asia Conference will be organized in a new manner. Past conferences organized by AIBD has always been free, but this conference there will be registration fees. But the benefit of being an AIBD member is that you're going to have beneficial discounted rates for attendance. I hope this can be a good model to sustain this very high profile and good quality event. With that, I would like to conclude my speech, and the AIBD team will do its best to promote this event to its members, and on the other hand, I believe this will be a great benefit for the AIBD members. Thank you very much.
Ozar, from the President of Commercial Radio Malaysia, please come up and say a few words to us.
Thank you, Steve. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Ozar, presenting Commercial Radio Malaysia, CRM. Also with me today, our fellow members from CRM, Bala, Alex, and Lee. First of all, we at CRM, we would like to thank RadioDays Europe for giving the opportunity to CRM to co-host become a premium supporting partner and the co-host for RadioDays Asia. And we believe this conference will be a good platform, important platform for us to engage and share experiences on emerging trends and challenges facing the radio and audio industry. And we believe also by choosing Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, as a 2019 RadioDays Asia Conference is the right decision made by the RadioDays Europe. Thank you for that. As knowing Kuala Lumpur as one of the most visited places in Asia, I believe that participants will get more than what they expected from this conference. By joining the full conference, they also can spend their days by visiting many tourist attractive places in Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur.
Yes.
And then we also believe that we have been waiting for this conference. RadioDays Asia will be a platform for radio industry players from all over the world and Asia together and share their ideas and thoughts, which at the end brings benefit to all of us, especially to CRM members. So with that, I thank you very much, and we hope that this conference will be a great one for you. Thank you.
You know, that's so true that Kuala Lumpur and Malaysia is a great place to come. As an Australian who's been visiting this country for many years, I know that choosing to have RadioDays Asia here will mean that so many Asians will come. This is a good country, it's easy to get in. When I've talked to Asian colleagues in radio over the years, they've said, we'd love to go to RadioDays Europe, but visas is such a hassle, it takes so long to get there, it's expensive. Malaysia is perfectly situated right in the middle of Asia. It's easy to get here, there's good transport, there's high-level 5-star hotels for those who want them, and there's budget accommodation for those who want it. It's easy to get a visa, flights are plentiful, you can come in and out in a day or two. It's a great place to hold this event. I think that all Asians will find it very easy to get to RadioDays Asia in August next year. The first time I went to RadioDays Europe, I was astonished at the energy and optimism of the event. It's a conference that's helped European radio turn a corner and build new confidence in the future for the radio and audio industries. And Asian radio businesses can expect to be inspired, as we heard from both of our industry speakers. They can expect to be inspired by new ideas and energy when RadioDays comes to Asia. This is Anders Held. He's the founder of RadioDays Europe, and he couldn't be here today because he's in Lausanne in Switzerland organising RadioDays Europe for early next year. But he's sent us this message, which I'll play now.
Greetings from Lausanne, Switzerland. Behind me here is the Swiss Tech Convention Center, and there is where we will be holding the next RadioDays Europe in March next year, where we have 1,600 people coming for the big event, actually the world's largest radio event that we're holding here for the 10th time in Europe. So apologies for not being able to be with you today. So I want just to send this message to you, talk a little bit about RadioDays Europe and about the plans for RadioDays Asia. So we have the experience of doing this in Europe with commercial radio and public radio for 10 years. And it has been really exciting to bring everyone together, looking into the future and what the challenges are and what kind of solutions we can come up with for the radio business, for the audio business, for the future. And this is what it will be about also at RadioDays Asia, taking place for the first time in August in Kuala Lumpur. We're happy to work with our Asian partners to make this a really good event for Asia, but we will bring the absolute best of international experts and speakers from RadioDays Europe and from across the world to RadioDays Asia, but also add, of course, the expertise and knowledge from across Asia to this event as well. So again, it will be about looking into the future and sharing experiences and finding solutions for our businesses for the future. So looking forward to work with everyone for RadioDays Asia in Kuala Lumpur 2019.
Thanks, Anders. And to finish up, just to let you know the mission and goals of RadioDays, now expanding to Asia. The mission and goals are to establish an annual high-quality professional radio and audio event in Asia as a meeting point for commercial and public radio and the audio industry. The upcoming RadioDays Asia conference will bring new learnings about current international media and technology trends. It'll tackle the challenges and opportunities for radio and audio content businesses. It'll showcase best practices, and we hope that it will make radio businesses more competitive and help them to be increasingly in tune with their listeners' needs and tech developments. The program will include the latest trends in radio, audio and digital media. So it's not just looking to a medium of the past, the historical radio medium, it's bringing that medium into the future, and that radio medium has evolved and continues to evolve. This conference is part of that evolution, and it will bring that sense of change, forward movement and evolution to Asia. It'll help the people who attend to learn strategies for radio and audio development, to inform them about digital competition and new digital platforms, and it'll get the leaders together from the radio industry with the ideas makers and the technologists to, we hope, create an energy that will move the Asian radio industry forward. So I commend RadioDays Asia to you, happening 27th and 28th of August next year here in Kuala Lumpur. That's the end of the official launch of RadioDays Asia. The website now, you can search for RadioDays Asia. You'll find that website is live. Tell all of your friends and colleagues, anyone working in radio, anyone interested in radio, to sign up to the newsletter on that site, and to get early bird discounts if they want to get in, or to contact the partners AIBD and Commercial Radio Malaysia to leverage the very special discounts that you can get through those two organisations. So that's the end of our media conference to officially launch RadioDays Asia.